Hi everyone, Paul from Speaking Schools Australasia here, and I'm here with the new video in our Conquering Debating series. We upload one each week to teach you how to put new skills into your debating. This week, we're going to be taking a look at analysing stakeholders, a crucial skill in your toolbox for making arguments. So what exactly is a stakeholder? A stakeholder is just a person or a group of people that is somehow related to or impacted by the topic. Your job is to show how the topic is either good or bad in relation to how it impacts those stakeholders. There are three main things you have to do. Firstly, identify the stakeholders. Secondly, rank the stakeholders. And thirdly, put them into arguments. The first step is to find out who your stakeholders actually are. Take a look at the topic and see if you can figure out who might be affected by it. It might already be written in the topic for you. For example, let's take a look at this one. The government should provide children with free access to all sporting facilities. It's pretty obvious that children are going to be a pretty big stakeholder in this debate because they're already in the topic. If the stakeholder isn't listed in the topic, you might have to brainstorm about who they are. Common examples might include families and family relations, poor and rich people, disadvantaged people, or residents of a certain country. Eventually, you'll start to pick up on some themes. For example, if the topic is about school, you'll most likely have three big stakeholders: parents, kids, and teachers. You might have to think of a whole bunch of different stakeholders, but remember, only a few of them will be important to the debate. Your adjudicator has to care about each individual stakeholder, so you'll have to pick and choose which ones are the most important. There are two common ways which you can do this. Firstly, ask yourself, how big is the stakeholder group and how big is the impact on them? If there's a lot of impact, it's most likely that that's an important stakeholder. Let's take a look at the topic that we said before, the free access one. Now, a lot of kids under this model would now have access to a whole bunch of sporting facilities. If we can prove that going to sporting facilities is good for their physical and mental health, then that's a lot of good for a key stakeholder. The second way to rank stakeholders is to ask if they can do anything to help their own situation. For some stakeholders, they won't really be able to do anything and will therefore be more important in the debate. For example, in the access debate, there are lots of kids who have home gyms or can afford to go to the gym on their own. But for the kids that can't afford to do that, the challenge against them is particularly big, which means that they're going to be an important stakeholder in the debate, despite perhaps being smaller. The third and final step is to analyse how our ideas might impact or affect a stakeholder. You can do this as a separate argument, or it can form part of another argument. You might have different stakeholders for one argument, or you might have the same stakeholder appear across multiple arguments. All of that is totally fine. The most important thing for you is to analyse how your stakeholder is important to that argument and important to the whole debate overall. For example, let's take a look at the sporting facilities debate one last time. You could choose to say that children and their health is really important, and therefore we should send them to sporting facilities to get fit, where the stakeholder is the focus of the argument. Or you could say that sporting facilities do great work in helping people get fit, and as part of that, include children as a stakeholder in the argument itself. Both approaches are good. It just depends on the debate and the argument that you choose to run. That's it for today's video. Thanks so much for sticking around. Please don't forget to like and share the video, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.